The Galactic Empire had ruled the stars for thousands of years. Its ships were fast, its weapons strong, and its sensors watched every inch of space. No one entered Varelian space without being seen. Except today. Corin Tesh was a low-level scout officer on duty near the outer edge of the Empire. He was bored. Most days out here were quiet. Nothing ever happened this far from the core worlds. Then his console beeped. Unidentified object detected, the system said. He leaned forward. Show me visual. The screen flickered. What he saw made no sense. It was big, very big, shaped like a block with sharp edges and strange metal plating. It moved fast, faster than any known ship. This can't be right, Corin muttered. He called command. This is Scout Vessel Sablehawk. I have an anomaly on long-range sensors, requesting permission to investigate. There was a pause. Then came the reply. Object flagged as possible sensor glitch. Do not approach. Repeat, do not approach. But Corin wasn't convinced. Something was out there. And if it wasn't a glitch, then someone needed to know. Without waiting for approval, he turned his ship toward the unknown object. As he got closer, static filled his screen. Then, something worse. A voice. It was calm, firm, human. This is Captain Daniel Reeves of the United Earthship Liberty. You are within unauthorized proximity. Identify yourself or prepare to be boarded. Corin froze. What? Who? His heart pounded. He looked at the screen again. That ship. It wasn't Imperial. Wasn't Allied. Wasn't even listed in the Empire's massive database. And yet, it was speaking perfect galactic standard. He scrambled to send a report. Unknown contact. Large warship. Armed and active. They speak our language. Command didn't answer. Again, he tried. Do you read me? This is urgent. Only silence. Back on the Liberty, Captain Reeves stood on the bridge. He watched the small scout ship through the view screen. They're scared, said Lieutenant Maria Ellis, the comms officer. Good, Reeves said. They should be. The Liberty wasn't supposed to be here yet. But something had drawn them off course, an energy spike unlike anything recorded before. Now they had company. Reeves tapped a button. Send them a message. Tell them we mean no harm, just want to talk. Maria hesitated. You sure? They might be hostile. Let's find out. Moments later, the hail went out. But all it did was make things worse. On Varelian Prime, High Command was in chaos. Who are these humans? Someone shouted. Where did they come from? Why do they have a ship that big? No one had answers. Only questions. And panic. Because somewhere in deep space, a human battleship had slipped past the Empire's mighty defenses, and no one knew how. The Liberty was the most powerful ship Earth had ever built. It was fast, strong, and full of new tech taken from old alien ruins found on Mars. Humans had spent years trying to understand that tech. Now they were using it. Captain Daniel Reeves stood on the bridge watching the small scout ship on the screen. Do we have an ID on them? He asked. Lieutenant Maria Ellis shook her head. Not yet. They're not broadcasting any known codes. Try hailing them again, Reeves said. Moments later, the same calm message played across the comms channel. This is Captain Daniel Reeves of the United Earthship Liberty. You are within unauthorized proximity. Identify yourself or prepare to be boarded. There was silence. Then, broken by panicked voices in a strange language. Back on Varelian Prime, the panic was spreading. Commander Velik stormed into the war room. What do we know? Very little, said an officer. The ship is human, unknown origin, but their weapons are advanced, possibly more so than ours. How is that possible? Velik snapped. No one answered. Meanwhile, Corin Tesh sat, alone in his scout ship, heart pounding. He stared at the massive Liberty Arn, unsure what to do. Then came a new voice over his comms. Scout Vessel Sablehawk. This is Imperial Command. Break off contact immediately. I repeat, break off contact. But before he could respond, something changed. A flash of light. His systems flickered. He looked up in horror as the Liberty fired a short pulse. Not a weapon, just an M field blast. His engines died. His sensors went dark. He was helpless. On the Liberty. Maria watched closely. We hit him with the M-pulse. He's out cold. Reeves nodded. Good. Now we wait. Hours passed. Eventually, the Empire sent a diplomatic team. They were confused, angry, and scared. They demanded answers. They wanted to know who these humans were and how they got here. Earth had just made first contact and it had gone very wrong. On the planet below, leaders argued. They disabled our ship without warning. They speak our language like they've known us for years. Why do they look so normal? No one had answers. But one thing was clear. The Galactic Empire had ruled alone for a long time. Now, there was a new player in the stars, and they didn't even know where humans came from. Some thought they were a lost colony, others feared they were something worse. But deep down, everyone felt the same thing. Fear. Because if humans could sneak past the Empire's defenses, what else could? The Varelians sent a diplomat. Her name was Lyra Nook. She was calm, smart, and used to dealing with alien leaders who bowed before the Empire. This time, she expected the same. She arrived on the Liberty with 2 guards and a translator. What she found surprised her. The humans did not bow. They did not beg. They stood tall. "Welcome aboard," said Captain Daniel Reeves. His voice was firm but polite. "You're here under peace terms. We hope you came the same way." Lyra looked around. The ship was clean, bright, and full of humans in uniforms. They moved with purpose. They were not scared. They were not confused. They were ready. She tried to speak in the old way, using formal galactic speech that showed rank and power. But the humans didn't react like she expected. "We don't use those titles here," Reeves said. "I'm the captain. That's enough." Lyra was taken aback. She had never met a species so equal. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the news spread fast. The Liberty had made contact. The world watched every update. Governments scrambled. Some wanted peace. Others wanted weapons. Everyone wanted control. In Washington, President Maggie Lang called a meeting. The public needed answers. The military wanted plans. "We can't let the Liberty act alone," said General Hale. "This is too big." President Lang agreed. She chose a man named Ethan Cole to be the official human contact. He wasn't a soldier. He was a talker. A diplomat from the United Nations. His job was simple. Go to space, meet the aliens, and make sure no one started a war. Cole boarded a shuttle bound for the Liberty. He didn't know if he'd come back. Back on the ship, Reeves met him at the oar. "How bad is it?" Cole asked. Reeves smiled. "Depends who you ask." On Varelian Prime, the High Command argued. "They are dangerous," said one general. "No," said another. "They are unpredictable. Worse than dangerous." Lyra sent her report. "The humans do not fear us. They do not respect our ranks, but they are smart, careful, and they fight well." There was silence in the war room. Then came the most feared question of all. What if they are not the only ones? Because somewhere out there, beyond the stars, something else might be watching. And if humans could rise so fast, who else was waiting in the dark? Things were going bad, then they got worse. After the failed talks, the Varelians thought hard about what to do. Some wanted peace, others wanted war. General Axel Dravik was one of those who wanted war. He was old, angry, and had fought in many battles. He believed the humans were a threat. He said they should be stopped before they grew stronger. They came out of nowhere, he told his officers. "We let them live today, and tomorrow they will rule the stars." So without approval from High Command, Dravik sent a fleet. 6 warships. Fast, deadly, fully armed, they jumped into the Liberty's sector with weapons hot. The humans saw them coming. On the bridge, Captain Daniel Reeves watched the screen. "Looks like talk time is over," said Lieutenant Maria Ellis. "Tell all hands," Reeves said. "Battle stations." The Liberty moved fast, its hull lit up with power, Railguns spun, lasers locked on, and then it fired. One shot, just one. A heavy railgun round hit the lead Varelian ship dead center. It exploded in fire and silence. The rest didn't last much longer. Within 10 minutes, all 6 ships were destroyed or crippled. No human lives were lost. None even hurt. Back on Varelian Prime, the news hit like a bomb. How? Someone asked. How did they beat us so fast? Why didn't our shields stop their weapons? No one could answer. Meanwhile, on the Liberty, the crew was shaken. We won, said Maria. But this changes everything. Reeves nodded. Yeah, and not for the better. Then came a new message. Not from the Empire's military, from Ambassador Lyra Nock. She had seen the attack from orbit. Now she was sending a direct signal to the Liberty. You are not alone in this galaxy, her voice said, and neither are we. But before she could say more, something went wrong. The Liberty's AI core flickered, navigation failed, comms dropped. Something inside the ship had been damaged during the fight. For the first time since launch, the Liberty was blind in the dark and not alone. Because deep in space, something else had seen the battle, something that had been watching for a long time. And now, it was waking up. After the battle, things changed. The Liberty was damaged. Not badly, but enough to worry Captain Daniel Reeves. Systems were slow. Comms flickered. The AI core had taken a hit during the fight. Meanwhile, Ambassador Lyra Nock tried again. This time, she came aboard. She stepped onto the Liberty with a small team. No guards, no weapons. Just data pads and questions. You beat us, she said to Reeves. But you didn't have to. He looked at her. We didn't start this fight. She nodded. No, but now we need to understand what we're both up against. They sat down together, talked for hours. Then came the big question. Where did you get your tech? She asked. Reese hesitated. Then he showed her. On the screen, images appeared. Old ruins found deep underground on Mars, strange symbols, broken machines, ancient power cells still humming after thousands of years. Lyra stared. These are viral tech ruins, she whispered. What's that mean? Maria Ellis asked. Lyra looked up. They were our ancestors, the first empire, older than ours by 10,000 years. So we found their stuff, Reeves said, and used it. Lyra shook her head. But that doesn't make sense. Those ruins should be gone, destroyed long ago. Well, they weren't, Reeves said. And we built our ships using what we learned. Lyra stood up slowly. You don't understand. The viral tech didn't vanish, they were wiped out. Silence filled the room. By who? Maria asked. By something worse than war, Lyra said. Something that hunts. Back on Earth, Ethan Cole got the report. His hands shook as he read. If humans had been using tech from a dead race, then someone else might notice. Someone dangerous. Meanwhile, on the Liberty Eye, engineers worked on the AI core. When they finally rebooted it, something strange happened. A message appeared on the main screen. Not from the Empire, not from Earth, from somewhere else. Just 3 words. They know you're here. Everyone on the bridge froze. Who does? Reeves asked. No one answered, because no one knew. But deep in space, something old was waking up, and it remembered the viral tech, and now it had found new life to destroy. Something was coming. After the Liberty's AI core rebooted, more messages began to appear, short, cold, full of warning. They are near. Do not answer. They do not speak. They kill. No one knew where the messages came from. Not the Empire, not Earth, not even the ancient ruins. Then the first reports came in. Virelian outposts along the edge of space were going dark. Not just quiet, gone. Ships vanished, stations left as hollow shells. No bodies, no signs of battle, just silence. Ambassador Lyra Nock returned to Varelian Prime. She stood before High Command. The Ashborn are back, she said. No one spoke for a long time. Finally, General Halleck rose. You don't know that. We found the same damage, she said. The same patterns. It's them. A heavy silence filled the room. Meanwhile, the Liberty and a small Varelian task force were sent to investigate a derelict station orbiting a dead star. It was silent when they arrived. Too silent. As Reeves led a team inside, the air felt wrong. Cold, empty, like something had been here and taken everything with it. They found one survivor, barely alive. He was hooked up to wires, barely breathing. His eyes flickered open when Reeves touched his arm. "Who did this?" Reeves asked. The man whispered one word: Ashbourne. Back on the Liberty, Maria Ellis worked on the strange signal. She managed to decode part of it. It was a warning, left by the last virile tech before they were wiped out. "They are not just enemies," the message read. "They are exterminators. They do not talk. They do not stop. They erase life." Then came the worst part. Coordinates, not from the past, from now. The Ashbourne were already moving. Toward the Milky Way. Toward Earth. On Varelian Prime, panic spread again. "If they reach our worlds, we are finished," said one leader. Then, "We run?" said another. "No," said Lyra. "We fight." But even she didn't know how. Not against something that erased whole planets. Not against something that never stopped. Back on the Liberty, Reeves stared at the screen. "We brought this on ourselves," he said. Maria looked at him. "What do you mean?" "We woke them up," he said. "And now they're coming." Somewhere in deep space, the Ashbourne fleet moved in silence. Cold, perfect, deadly, and they were heading home. The galaxy was waking up to a new truth. The Varelians had ruled for thousands of years. They thought they were the strongest, the oldest, the smartest. They were wrong. The Ashbourne were older than any empire, colder than any enemy. They did not talk. They did not stop. They came, they saw, they erased, and now they were coming for the Milky Way. On Earth, the news hit like thunder. People stopped their daily lives. Governments held emergency meetings. Scientists tried to understand what they were up against. But there was no time for fear, only time for action. Captain Daniel Reeves stood on the Liberty's bridge. He looked at the screen. The Ashbourne fleet was moving fast. "We can't wait for help," he said. "We go now." Ambassador Lyra Knox stood beside him. She had seen her people fall apart before. Not this time. "The Empire will fight," she said. "But we need a plan." "We don't have one," Reeves said. "Just ships and guns and each other." Lyra nodded. Back on Earth, President Maggie Lang made an announcement. "This is not just a human fight," she said. "This is everyone's fight. If we want to live, we fight together." People answered the call. Scientists built weapons. Engineers repaired ships. Soldiers volunteered. Humans were not ready for war with the stars, but they were ready to try. The Liberty led the first wave, joined by Varelian warships, old enemies now standing side by side. They met the Ashbourne near the Galactic rim. The battle was loud, bright, deadly. Lasers lit the dark. Missiles flew like stars. Ships crashed and burned. The Ashbourne were strong, but so were the humans, and so were their new allies. After hours of fighting, the Ashbourne pulled back, not defeated, but slowed. For now, on the Liberty, Reeves looked at the damage reports. They had lost good people, but they had won something too. Hope. On Varelian Prime, High Command issued a formal decree. "Humanity is no longer a curiosity," it read. "They are a power, and perhaps our only hope." Reeves stood on the bridge, looking out into space. Stars filled the sky. So did danger. But he smiled. "Let them come," he said. "We've got work to do."